Welcome to MindMirror Audiobook. Today, we're exploring the powerful principles that help the wealthy not only achieve success but also maintain it over time. There's nothing wrong with wanting to earn money, but the key to mastering the art of wealth lies in understanding the mindset and strategies that the rich use. Whether you're just starting on your financial journey or looking to level up, this content will give you the insights to help you take control of your financial destiny. Let's dive into the principles that distinguish the rich from the rest of the world. Friends, what are the principles that help the rich become rich and stay rich? There's nothing wrong with wanting to earn money. Smart work and hard work will definitely get you there. But to truly master the art of managing money, you must understand how your brain works when it comes to money. When it comes to handling money, no one is crazy. Everyone does what they think is right. But we must know whether what we are doing is actually right for us. For example, a rich person sells distractions, and a poor person buys them. A rich person buys skills, while a poor person buys entertainment. A rich person buys time, and a poor person sells their time. A rich person invests in their growth, while a poor person invests in comfort. This is the mindset difference between the top 1% of the world's richest people and the remaining 99% of the poor. Therefore, change your mindset because your mindset is everything. This summary will reveal all the secrets of wealth and the rich so that you too can adopt their mindset and become rich. So, let's begin with Chapter 1, Saving Money. Most people think the secret to becoming rich is earning a lot of money as quickly as possible. People often say, "If I earned more money, I'd be rich." You've probably heard people say this many times, but ask that person if they were able to save more money. You'll probably get a no in response. Because the truth is, as much as we earn, our expenses also increase. Every person lives the same life. They go to work, earn money, and spend it. They go to work, earn money, and spend it. Most people work 50 hours a week, but their savings are still zero. But now we need to break this trap and start saving so we can protect ourselves from poverty in the future. Friends, anyone can become wealthy as long as they plan and save consistently over the long term. The principle of saving says that you should save 10% of your income every month. Whether our income is $500 or $5,000, we must save. People who don't save make excuses saying, "My income barely covers my expenses. How can I save?" And that's something you should never believe. It's often seen that the more money a person has, the more their loan increases because as you earn more, you tend to spend more, leading to more debt. Now, to pay off this debt, you work day and night, which increases stress, irritability, and negatively impacts your relationships and health. Debt makes a person a slave to it. Therefore, we shouldn't use money to fulfill our dishonest desires, but rather to meet our needs. When you take control of saving money, you start the first step toward becoming rich. Saving 10% of your monthly income is just like planting small seeds to grow a tree. The first coin saved is that seed from which the tree of wealth will grow. But remember, you are your own enemy in growing this tree. If you lack self-control and discipline, you will consume your wealth before it even has a chance to grow. The whole world wants to pull your money, and if you avoid these temptations, your future will be much better. Chapter 2 is about not misusing money. In the previous chapter, you learned how to save money. Now let's learn how to use it wisely. When you want to become rich and save money, you are often overwhelmed by greed and fear that you might end up poor. Because of this fear, you work even harder. Then, greed makes you imagine all the beautiful things that money can buy. You see your friends, relatives, and neighbors buying things, and you want to spend your money in the same way. You want to buy fancy TVs, mobile phones, and gadgets just to show off to your friends. Many people fall into this trap of greed and destroy their savings for a little comfort. Remember, just saving money is not enough to become rich. It is also important to secure and grow your savings. A wise person invests the money they've saved, while a foolish person spends their money on luxurious items, consuming their wealth before it has a chance to grow. Buying expensive things, going on family vacations, and living your dream life are good, but spending your entire year's savings in one go is not a good idea. Many people destroy their dreams of becoming rich by squandering their hard-earned savings for a moment of enjoyment. Chapter 3 is about investing. Investment seems like a scary word, as though it's a ghost that will swallow our money. But that's not true. The money we save, if we don't invest it, will not help us earn more money. The rule for becoming rich is to put your money to work, then reinvest the profits so that money becomes real wealth. Just like a plant dies without water, fertilizer, and sunlight, our money will lose its value if it's not invested, which is known as inflation. There are many ways to invest, such as opening an account at a bank, buying gold, buying land, investing in mutual funds, or opening an FD at a bank. When you invest, make sure you're earning returns higher than the inflation rate. For example, if inflation is rising 7% annually, your investment should earn at least 9 to 10% returns. Don't get trapped by schemes that promise to double your money in 21 days. Such schemes are frauds. Investing is a very important step on the path to becoming rich. Most people believe that being rich means having a high income, but they don't understand that it's not about income, it's about saving and investing. Chapter 4 is about keeping track of your money. Keeping track of your money is not being miserly, it's being smart. You need to know where you're spending unnecessarily and where you can save. To become rich, controlling and knowing your expenses is very important. You've probably heard people say, "I get money in my bank every month, but I don't know where it goes." These people have no control over their spending and end up borrowing from others when they run out of money, thinking they will repay it next month. I'll tell you one thing, debt leads us towards poverty. If becoming rich is like climbing a mountain, debt is like falling into a pit. However, there are two types of debt, good debt and bad debt. Bad debt is used for things like entertainment, which will not generate any income and will only lose value. Good debt is used to generate income in the future. Debt is the enemy, and you should avoid borrowing money from anyone. Keeping track of your income and expenses is hard work, and sometimes it's stressful, but it's essential. Chapter 5 is about how to become rich. Today's wealthy people have reached where they are by working hard. They start working early in the morning and work late at night. They don't take long lunch breaks or waste time watching TV or playing video games. They stay away from useless chatter and people. They use social media only for work. If you truly want to become rich, you need self-discipline and commitment. You need to put in the effort and dedication. How serious you are about your work and goals will make you extraordinary. Elon Musk says that if you want to be successful, you have to work 100 hours a week. Many people work 50 hours a week, but if you want to outperform them, you have to work twice as hard. If you're willing to work long hours and spend that time on the right things, your chances of success increase. You won't become successful overnight, and you may fail on your first, second, or even third try, but you need to face these challenges to reach success. Chapter 6 is about buying only assets. Most people don't understand that the real issue is not how much money you earn, but how much you can keep. We've heard stories of poor people who win the lottery, become rich, and then return to poverty after some time. These people win millions but return to where they started. The first rule of becoming rich is to understand the difference between assets and liabilities, and always buy assets. If you want to become rich, you just need to know this one thing. It seems simple, but most people don't know how important this rule is. Wealthy people accumulate assets, while poor and middle-class people accumulate liabilities. The interesting part is that these people think they're accumulating assets. So, how do you tell the difference between an asset and a liability? It's simple. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket, and a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. To become rich, just understand these two lines. But 80% of families remain stuck in money problems because they keep buying liabilities instead of assets. We all need to spend money to live. Food, clothes, and shelter are necessary for everyone. But poor people make the mistake of thinking that money will solve all their problems. That's why they want to become rich quickly. But more money doesn't always solve the problem. In fact, money often highlights our weaknesses. If a person suddenly comes into a lot of wealth, such as from inheritance or the lottery, they soon return to their old situation or even worse. Therefore, I want to warn you again that in the long run, it's not important how much money you earn, but how much you save. Chapter 7 is about rich habits. The brain has about 20 million neurons, and each one connects to about 200,000 others. In our daily life, we only use a small fraction of these neurons. Think about how much potential you're not using right now. But successful people use these neurons extensively, and so can you. Stop being lazy. Leave behind procrastination and time-wasting habits. It's still not too late to bring the desired changes into your life. What you think about most of the time shapes your destiny. If you think about money and success, opportunities will come your way. If you focus on depression or illness, that will become part of your life. Therefore, always think positively. Control your thoughts. Let go of negative thoughts forever. With practice, your mind will only think positive things, and you'll feel happier and more successful. This is simple. Successful people think only about what they want. Every day, every minute, they focus on achieving their goals. Chapter 8 is about 6 steps to wealth. First, decide the amount of money you want in your mind. It's not enough to just say, "I want a lot of money." You need to know the exact amount. Second, figure out what service or work you're willing to provide in exchange for that money. Third, set a specific deadline for when you want to achieve that amount. Fourth, create a good plan to achieve your goal. Fifth, write a clear, brief message about the amount of money you want, the deadline, what you're offering in return, and your plan. Sixth, read your message aloud twice a day, once before bed and once upon waking up. To wrap up, remember, the road to wealth isn't solely about how much you earn, but how wisely you manage, save, and invest your money. By adopting the right mindset, saving consistently, and making smart investments, you can build a prosperous future for yourself. Wealth is about more than just income. It's about growing and preserving your money for long-term security. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and trust in your ability to reshape your financial future. The journey to becoming rich starts with the decisions you make today. Thank you for joining us on MindMirror Audiobook. Stay committed to your goals, and the rewards will follow.